So we're just going to start this up and get right into it. These are going to be the things you need to do when you're first starting your world. Things that kind of progress quickly and just help you get to the point where you want to be. So right now we just started. And the nice thing is that compared to Minecraft is you already have your little base with some of the minor things that you need to get started, okay? So you got yourself to protect you. Now if you go outside, you all start in the same kind of place, and you all start in generally the same area and biome. But the structure of the biome itself is what's different. And what you need to do really is get your most important resources. I'm not talking very clearly, am I? Which, honestly, are going to be wood, rubles, cobblestone, plant fiber, and probably even some berries. Okay? So trees are interesting because they technically have a tree capitator, unlike Minecraft. But in order for it to work, you have to make sure that there's not one block between it and the ground. Well, that one took a long time. So your first tree is going to be like Minecraft, where you punch it. And it's a little bit time consuming, but then again it isn't, because it's all going to fall down very soon after I break this one last block. And this is the fun part. And you got to look right up as soon as you do it. Whoa! Oh, there it comes. Now you're going to get three things. You're going to get some logs, you're going to get some sticks, and you're going to get some plant fibers. You need all of those. Then collect some rubles. They will be rocks scattered around like this, and you'll find them typically in stony areas. You just collect them as you see them. So you get plant fibers out of the trees. You can also get them out of bushes. Not grass, but bushes. Now if you use a sword or something on bushes, you can break more of them quicker. Oops, I accidentally broke a berry bush apparently. So we got a couple of those. You're going to want some food. Food isn't as dire in this as it is in Minecraft. Food is more vital for when you're taking damage. If you're not taking damage, you actually eat less often in Hytale than you do in Minecraft. So we already got some of that. Your first crafting things are going to be in your regular inventory. Now, Hytale is much better with the structuring of teaching you what resources are needed to build things. So, open your inventory. For me, it's E, but that's because I changed it in the controls. Is it Tab or Q originally? I can't remember. And you're going to see a couple of your items. And you're going to probably want to build all of these as quick as you can. Okay? So you're going to want at least one cruise sword. Now this is cool because you have a craft by 10, or craft all. You click on this once, it'll craft one of that item. You click on it times 10, it'll craft 10 of those items all at once. And all just means craft until there's no more resources left in your inventory to stop crafting, right? We're going to craft one crude sword, because you will need it to protect yourself, or even just to use it when breaking bushes. A crude hatchet. And, we need one more ruble to do a crude pickaxe. There's one in my base. There's pretty much one in all your bases. I don't think I've ever seen a base start without rubles. Okay. One pickaxe. Craft. Now, let's craft 2 chests. And yes, always do 2, because otherwise it's just a waste. And go place them somewhere, and you can just make this your house. In another world I started, this is more just like a recreational area. I dig out to the side, build a door, and then build an entire sector onto it that's the actual house. It's really quite cool. By the way, you can turn off torches and candles by hitting F. Okay, we've got our pickaxe. If you want some cobblestone, you can either get that by mining it from the surface, or, whoops, digging your own mine shaft, which I would recommend. And let's see, should we start over here? That's what I did in one of my other worlds. Now you can see I'm starting to mine some of the dirt over here. Dirt is mined differently in Hytale than is in Minecraft. In Hytale, a shovel is a more advanced tool. You have to use a special table to get it. And it doesn't dig just one dirt. It digs a lot of dirt around it in a certain pattern. It's really interesting. The mechanics are different. It's going to take some getting used to for you. Otherwise, the best thing to use it is just actually a pickaxe. So until you get a shovel, You're going to use a pickaxe on dirt. And since I'm going to put stairs in my mine shaft, you want to dig each section 4 deep to allow you an opportunity to sprint up and down. Yeah. Now I'll get your mine shaft started. So we have a little discussion we need to clear up about mining in Hytale, which you will find different, different than Minecraft. Got something stuck in my throat. I ate supper not that long ago. Okay, that's enough to get started. Now, we're going to need to craft torches. Torches are different in Hytale. You don't necessarily use coal or charcoal. Tree sap is actually the main ingredient. Tree sap, and then you got plant fiber. Tree sap comes from harvesting trees. Look, I crafted 10 or 40, just like that. Yeah, you craft 10 times, but each crafting generates 4 torches, so that's why I got 40 out of them. Now, I'm going to go to the outside, and we actually have some repair to do, and this is actually one of the first things you need to do. It's not super dire, because not hardly anything seems to get on top of this place to get into you, but it can happen. So, oh yeah, we got our sword. Use the sword, see? Break a bunch of bushes at once. Get plant fibers and sticks. Though anytime I need sticks or plant fibers, I always just go to trees, because you're always needing wood. Just chop down the trees. Whoop. Guess I might as well use this. Got 2 of them. There. Now, we need to get to the top. Because every starting position... Oh, by the way, if you climb up to a section, jump up to it, and you can't get to the top, you can actually climb up instead. You parkour in this. Now see, every starting structure always has holes in the roof. You might want to cover them up. Like I said, creatures don't usually get up here, but they can. And so it's just assuring that you really are safe. Okay, we've accomplished that. We've accomplished what we need to do there. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to put some torches around, because now we have less light, because I covered up the roof. Okay, now it is time to get more cobblestone because I used it all. We're going to need to use it to build some of our tables. So you have your crude pickaxe, but you really want to upgrade to copper or iron if you can. Now I told you we're going to have a little discussion about mining. We're going to do it right now. Since mining in Hytale is a little bit different than Minecraft, you might approach it differently. Although, starting from this day moving onward, we do have rumors of Simon Hypixel possibly changing a little bit about how mining works. So, in the future, this may be a little bit different. But as it stands currently, the best way to get your ores is actually not in the mining process necessarily. You're actually better off going and finding caves, jumping through them, and picking them out of the walls there. You'll find them a lot quicker than going to mining down into your mine. However, when you first start out, you have copper, and then above that is iron. Copper will be pretty abundant in the first starting biome, but iron will not. The best ways to get iron, 1, to dig down deep until you get to about the volcanic layer. You'll know you're there because you'll start to hit volcanic rock. And then you want to look in that area. Hopefully you'll find a cave and you can go rummaging through the cave. Other than that, you actually want to leave the starting biome and go to some of the biomes that are bordering the area. I'm going to hit M. I'm bringing up my map. There's a couple of areas I'm looking at around here. Here's a good biome. See the blue one? This deep forested area will probably be pretty good too. See, the blue biomes right here are always good. Go there and look for caves in those areas. Get away from your base. You're much more likely to find iron closer towards the surface. Whereas in the biome where you first start, you probably will not. Mostly you'll just find copper, which is good, but not quite as good as iron. So we got some cobblestone. Time to make some of our tables. We have a workbench and a builder's workbench. Both very important in the beginning. Click on the workbench, craft it, and you'll notice... Oh, it didn't do it for this one. Maybe I'll do it for this one. Oh, no. Well, some of them take a little bit longer to make. This is a status bar right here. You'll click craft on some of these things, and every now and then you'll notice something takes time for it to finish crafting. It's really quite cool, actually, when it does do it. It feels cool. Okay, we're going to put those down there. I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff in my inventory. Essence of Life. Essence of Life you're going to use in a lot of different crafting recipes. The best place to get Essence of Life is by harvesting farms, your agriculture. Okay, so we have the workbench where you can do a few better tools. One of the first things you should do is a bow. A copper bow would be better, but you know, you're limited on this table. You need a weapons, or is it the blacksmith? You need a oh no, where is it? Right there, blacksmith to do that. The other thing you're going to want right away are some arrows. Bows and arrows are cheaper in Hytale than they are in Minecraft. And you will find that the bows are far better to use in most situations. I'm going to give you a quick little tip when it comes to fighting NPCs, not mobs. In Hytale they're called NPCs. Look for bodies of water, like rivers or something. If you're being chased by an animal that's hostile, jump in the water and you'll be safe most of the time. Some animals do go in the water, most of them don't, and you can just shoot them with an arrow, bow and arrow from the water, and they won't hurt you. Otherwise, when it comes to hunting some of the faster animals, it is so much easier to hunt them down when you got a bow because they run away fast. NPCs and mobs run faster in Hytale than they do in Minecraft, especially the hostile ones. So it's not like in Minecraft where if you attack a zombie or skeleton, you know you're going to outrun it. In Hytale, they're about the same speed. However, they do seem to follow a point of origin for the NPC pathing. So if you're trying to outrun one of them, it's not about being faster than them. It's about getting outside of their space where they spawned. Okay, more so, anyways. Where was I? Telling you a little bit about doing that. So you got that. You got a bow. You got your arrows. It's good to make a bunch. That's why you're going to need a bunch of rubles. That's where the rubles come into play most of the time. You're going to be getting a lot of sticks out of trees. Most of your sticks are going to be going to make arrows. Always have a bunch of arrows with you. I kid you not, I always have at least 3 stacks of arrows. That's 300. Sounds like a lot, right? Once you get going, you're going to find out just how much you rely on those arrows. Trust me, you want like 3 stacks of arrows with you all the time. All right? Okay, now, we're going to want to build a furnace, right? That's where you're going to cook everything. What's it say we need? We need 6 stone, we only have 3. Let's go get it. I'll kind of level off here a little bit, just for the sake of getting a bunch of stone. We can go deeper at another time. So iron and copper ores are pretty obvious when you see them. They stick out of the rock. The 3-dimensional, well, they're not, that's not the word. Everything's 3-dimensional. I mean, there's more dimension to them. They're not just flat. Okay? They're cool. And they have a cool sound, too, of their own when you mine them. You'll get addicted to mining ores once you mine your first one. It's fun. There's also another really good place to mine ores. There are lots of structures that generate in Hytale. One of them is actually a mine shaft that goes down, and you'll have a few places where you can go loot it a little bit. There will also be a lot of exposed ores in those. You can sometimes find them from the map, but they're a little bit harder. You know, that might be one, but that actually looks more like a Chork camp. Yeah, that's a Chork camp. There's a little bit to loot there, but not much. They're a little bit more dangerous than a skeleton. Your typical tier 1 first hostile mob you meet, the easiest to destroy, are your skeletons around spawn. And they tend to spawn more at night. You do have to hunt them down, though, because they drop something called... it just skipped my mind. Fabric something or other. Anyways, they drop something that's very common in crafting recipes. They also drop bones. Okay. Make a furnace. Oh, see, status bar. It takes time to craft. Put it down somewhere. It's up to you where you want to put things down. Nope. And you can start to cook things. It's usually ores. You don't cook meat in those. That's actually what the campfire is for. Where's the campfire? Takes 2 rubles. We don't even have 2 rubles anymore. Boy, that's right, we're going through them. Rubles are pretty abundant. And it seems to me, in my experience, that they regenerate in stone areas. Someone can change, you know, if I'm wrong, tell me that. But I don't think I'm wrong, because that's what seems to happen. I'll come back to a stone area, and there'll be rubles, and I say, okay, I'm pretty sure I mined those. Pretty sure they generate over time. Oh, anytime you go on a new biome, you get that little update. Okay, here's some berries in the bushes. These berry bushes are everywhere you first start. They are your friend. They are your first food source, and they will get you through all kinds of things. You can once you get your bow, then you start hunting, and you start killing all these animals. Those right there, they are not turkeys. I forget their name, but they're slow. With bows, they are pretty easy to kill. Should we go kill them just so you get the idea? Oh, see, look at all these rubles. I usually pick up rubles all the time when I'm out, just because I use them so much. Okay, so there's the health on it. You can see the damage it's doing. That health bar right there, by the way, is off by default. I turn it on in the options. It only ever appears once an entity is attacked by you. It's very nice. You need to know how much damage you're doing, because it changes your combat a little bit. If something's almost dead, you're probably going to rush it and kill it real quick. Where if something's not and you're hurt pretty bad, you're going to leave it alone and run. You need to know what health is left, so I would recommend going in your options and turning that on. Oh boy. Hit F, pick up these rubles. Oh boy, you use these things so much. Pick up tons of rubles. Store a ton in your base if you need to. You'll go back to them. Another nice thing about when you start this is spawn is always located on the top. You see there's a little compass thing at the spawn? It's telling me where spawn is. However, I don't know if this is a bug or if there's something you're going to change. If you go really far away from base, for some reason that disappears. I don't know why. I hope they change that. Now suppose there's someplace you want to go, like to this right here, which is a Forgotten Temple Gateway. Middle click on your roller mouse bar or right click to select location. And it sets a waypoint. And you can go over there real easy. So it's easy to get to places on your map. Oh my goodness, look at all those rubles. We'll go back and get those later. Because we need to go and make our campfire. Okay, we got a campfire. Put that where you want it. This is where you cook your food. Now, when you have that in there, you can put stuff to cook. It's interesting, when you cook with logs, you actually get a byproduct of charcoal that you can feed back through and burn some more. Food typically cooks really quick. The ores cook a little slower. And the thing that goes the absolute slowest is, where is it? It's this right here, your tanning rack. When you kill animals, sometimes you're going to get hides that you're going to convert into leather, and you put it on the tanning rack. As you can see, I don't have enough light hides. I don't even have any tree trunks because I just used it all. And then you use that to craft other things beyond that. So we've already got these. Nope, didn't get any charcoal byproduct. Probably because it cooked too fast. The meat cooks so fast, you know it. Well, I usually get those byproducts in the furnace, don't I? Put some things away. Some things that I use a lot for crafting. You're probably going to find this yourself, like sticks and plant fibers. I wouldn't keep those in the chest, all of them. I'd always keep like at least 60 or something in your inventory, because it's such a common crafting recipe. Always keep some sticks, always keep some plant fibers, always keep some cobblestone, always keep some wood logs, always keep rubles. And I'll sometimes just put them on the top layer here to remind myself that anything that's up here stays with me all the time. Now, it's going to come night eventually, and I'm going to go mine eventually too. Something that's nice about Hytale is if you hit E, you hover over this. This is your left hand. Now, Minecraft, you can only do a few things at once. Here, you can do a lot of things 4 times. I go put it right there, and look, it'll be with me wherever I go while I mine, and it'll always be giving me light. And you can always take it back out again if you want. Very nice thing to have. Well, we're going to come out here, chop a little bit of wood. Just because we know we're going to need a bunch. But we're going to come back in here and actually finish our discussion, because once you get to this point, you have basically all the starter things that you need. From here, you actually don't need anything else beyond this. You can do all the regular tier 1 stuff from here on out. Everything else is more like an upgrade. You can build new tables that do more things, like a furniture workbench that gives specialized furniture. You got this builder workbench, which when you put in a resource like cobblestone or wood, you can build special blocks, including, and this is what's really cool, the roofing, and your doors and chairs and windows and ladders and fences. See, you craft them all right from here. And what's cool about some of these other tables, like your chef's stove, your blacksmith's anvil, your farmer's workbench, once you build them, they all start at tier 1. You can see this table is also tier 1 and can be upgraded to another tier where these things that are locked can become unlocked and you can progress onwards. This is something that Minecraft is seriously lacking in, where Hytale is really cool. You can upgrade the tables to do even more cool things. Isn't that neat? And there's really a lot more you can do beyond that. But, you know, this video is more about starter. By the way, I just hit C on my keyboard to do this. This is just about getting yourself started. It's everything you need to know. And after this, you know, everything else is a little bit more advanced and further on in progression. But you can start building a base if you want. You can go exploring or do whatever you want. But, you know, that's everything you need to know.